Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rasmus-Gold. I just dropped another video that's about to make you faint. To everyone that has been liking, subscribing and watching my videos, thank you so much. And to the new ones, oh darling, welcome. This is where it's at. Next to me is the one and only, the beautiful, oh my god, a brand, Sannie Nkosi, influencer, former news anchor at YFM, actress and aspiring TV host. The moment is here. So guys, today we're actually talking about something that is close to my heart, and it's the entertainment industry. So as I've already mentioned, Sannie Nkosi, she's literally carrying all of this house, all of those heads, sorry. Introduce yourself to my team.
Ooh, hey guys, so my name is Sannie, and I do feel like that was a bit of an oversell, because I'm just thinking now, when you call me an actress, and I've only had like one little stint on one particular show.
National TV.
Does that qualify as an actress?
You had a script, right? An actress, and she played a character. So for me, that's being an actress.
Okay, cool. Then I am an actress, but I also do quite a bit on the side. I'm just a creative, just a creative as a whole. I think I really love the entertainment space. I love the creative space. That's really what I am. I think it's very hard to just box yourself and say you are
Exactly.
XYZ. So I think as a creative person, you dabble in quite a lot of things.
Most definitely. As I've mentioned earlier on, I said she carries all of these hats. And in entertainment, you need to be multifaceted, and you need to explore, you need to diversify, and I think you've done that so well. So I met Sannie at a TV presenting school back in 2019 because we wanted to chop ourselves into pieces and to make sure that we become good at, or rather, we shape our craft to be better, because that's where it's at. It's always to become better. So from TV presenting, our friendship grew, and she's explored other avenues which is now influencing. So I want us to also dip into that topic, and also just like the negative notions around that, because it's quite a big topic. So let us start with auditions, because that's another thing, because if you want to be in this industry, you need to audition. So how was your first audition, friend?
My first audition, and I'll be honest, it was, if I remember correctly, it was probably for the first live audition was for MTV Base. I think they used to have those presenter searches.
I was always scared, but I really wanted to be like a VJ, but I was so scared.
Yes, definitely. And I think I went there with my mom, and I got a call back, surprisingly. So, I had to come back the next day, and that was exciting, because you're like, oh my gosh, there's like thousands of people, and they're asking me to come back.
Oh my goodness, you're choosing this Barbie doll? Come on.
And I think at the time I was in grade 11. So, mind you, I'm from KZN. So, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Because if let's just say, God willing, I make it to the next round and I'm like a finalist, I can't put school on hold and go to Joburg for like however many weeks I'm required to. But anyway, that was my first audition, which was pretty cool. But at the same time, I think when you put yourself in such a position, and you literally competing against thousands of other people, so it definitely takes a knock on who you are and your capabilities and all that stuff. Because after that, you start thinking, well, why didn't I get it? And then you're comparing yourself to the next person, basically.
True. My first audition, I went to audition for live. I was 17 actually, and then I had to go to Bloemfontein.
What?
Yes, I was in Bloem. My sister was like, you need to do this because I know you're passionate about it. And then I hopped all the way to Bloem, and then I went to audition. So I think at like the first round, and then I went through to the second round. It was very nerve-wracking. However, personally, I appreciate that because now I know that I really wasn't well. And also, if I were to speak about a brand, would I have carried myself the way I carry myself now? So that is different, because I was really a child. But it did hit me hard, because I felt like I needed it at that moment. So my personality did take a knock, because the thing with the entertainment industry is whenever you get a no, it feels like a personal attack. Because it's an attack on your personality, it's an attack on you and your capabilities and your talent, because now there's a question mark and all of those questions are pending in your head. As much as your family and your friends may say, oh no, it's not your time, but then I want this to be my time.
Exactly.
So you don't understand all of those things. So how did you fight with yourself, or were you very hard on yourself when you got a no?
I'll be honest. I think your first no is for me, in my case, it was really affirmation of, actually maybe I can do this, because you're getting a call back is something you're like, oh, not everyone got a call back.
True.
But then after that, when you keep hearing no's, then it's definitely gonna get to you.
What is it? Are you saying that I'm not talented?
Exactly, because that's what.
Why are you fighting me like this? I know.
Exactly. So the whole personal attack thing, definitely, because then even when you yourself are just alone and you start thinking about all these things, then you sort of feel like, maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I'm not as talented
True.
as I think I am.
But then also on that, right? How did you now take all of the negative energy and turn it into positive?
I think it has to do with a whole mindset shift, because again, in an industry where there are millions of people, I'd say millions of people trying to break into it. So, there has to be something very special about you, and you need to know who you are. So if you're going to keep taking a certain no and letting that ring in your head, then you're really never going to get anywhere. Because another important thing to remember is the fact that it's not necessarily you're not talented, but it's perhaps you're not fitting for this particular role.
Exactly.
Or for this particular position. So again, it's just like, even in a normal job interview type of setup, you may have all the necessary requirements, but
True.
They need one person, and they need one person that fits that particular role for that particular company. So I think when you start thinking in that way and you start accepting that, okay, so perhaps not this one, but definitely eventually something will be yours, and something will be what is most appropriate for you.
So true. And also back then, when I had my first audition, what I didn't understand about the entertainment industry is why did you not take me? Because like I've mentioned earlier on, it's a personal, you feel like it's a personal attack.
Definitely.
But going back to the brief, to what they're actually looking for, even if it goes back to acting, sometimes they're like, we need someone that is dark in complexion. I need someone that is just to fit specific role.
Exactly.
So that's why, guys, whenever you want to move or get into the industry, please know that you need to be passionate about it. Because without passion, you won't be a returned soldier. You will be stressed. And what was one of the reasons for you to then go to TV presenting school? Because according to me, I was very good. I felt like I had a normal flow, but I knew that I needed help.
Yeah.
And I know that I needed to have people that can sharpen my skills. So what was one of your motivating reasons?
I think for me, again, like you're saying, you need to sharpen your skills, but also I'd never necessarily been in a professional setup in that sense. So to get industry peers teaching you the tips and tricks, because I think, again, it's little things like that will make you stand out. For an audition, you need to perfect audition etiquette. So little stuff like that you need to sort of get right from the get-go. And I think that's what training and courses, and even if it's like a 1-week course, whatever the case is, anything to just take it up a notch. You can always take it up a notch. I mean, you find people that are established presenters,
and they were there already, because I recall there was a lady actually, she was working for some sports channel. She was there. So basically, guys, whenever you walk into a room, your confidence was pushed forward, right? And so now in a room with all of these people that are working in this specific field, and you are an aspiring TV presenter or radio host, you're sitting there and you're looking around, you're telling yourself, what the hell am I doing? So you will really question yourself. You will question yourself, but you do that anyways, and you know that, listen, if you are born for something, it will work out anyways. So then another thing, friend, around the time when we were at the TV presenting school, you also did radio. What happened, and how did you get into radio? Because when we got there, and I recall there were specific questions where they asked us, so what is it that you want to do? Some said like we want to be news anchors. You never mentioned it, but in radio you did news anchoring. So why did you then focus on TV presenting and not focus on on radio presenting? I know it's like this question is very mouthful.
It is a bit loaded, but so just to the first part was how did I get into radio? So I started doing campus radio when I was still studying at Tux FM. So there I was normal radio presenter doing the graveyard shift, of course. That's where we all start. And then straight after that, I signed up for the Y Academy, which is the it's an internship program at YFM. So from there, I was selected to be a news anchor, and that's basically what I did for about a year. And I mean, I sort of left that because I had to focus on my studies. It was very difficult juggling both. I mean, I was living in Pretoria, working full time in Joburg. It was a mission. Yeah, so then I decided to make the shift and sort of focus on television presenting and just to introduce myself to a whole new world. I think I always say that I'm an aspiring broadcaster because it's not just radio or just television. I think conversations and talking and broadcasting as a whole is something that's always been quite fascinating to me. So obviously just wanted to get a bit more insight into television presenting and what that's about really. I mean, camera work, stuff like that. You don't get when you're in radio. Exactly.
And then you're going.
Exactly, but in radio, literally 30 seconds in, you're still having a conversation with someone, then you press the on, then people wouldn't know. But with television, it's obviously a whole new dynamic, and it's very important to obviously introduce yourself to that.
Mini story real quick. So now we at the TV presenting school, right? We get a script, so it's all of us, and I think I was before you or after you. I don't know when was my turn, and then it was action. So guys. There's so many cameras because it was at the SABC and it was nerve-wracking. However, so Sannie went and then she delivered her link. I fainted.
Can I get a wow? Wow! Can I get another wow? Wow! Give me another one. Wow! Call the ambulance.
You pushed through and you delivered on another. You delivered on another level. You did so well. So do you think that your skills that you've acquired over the years from radio and just even from acting, it really helped you to become a better TV presenter?
Definitely. I think everything sort of plays a role, which is why I say it's broadcasting, as you relaying a message to the end receiver. So the mere fact that there's a camera now, it's a different dynamic. But if you've been in radio, then you sort of know how to carry a conversation. But now with an added element, which is why it's important to understand the camera work. Why it's important to understand that with radio you could be like chilling like this and talking, but with TV you need to have your posture. You need to. So it's little things like that make it all come together. So nothing works in isolation, and that's why I think it's so important to sort of just do all these little courses. Just to upskill yourself constantly and understand how each little, certain piece of broadcasting works. So definitely it all ties in together.
True. And in my introduction video, guys, you guys need to go back to the video. It's one of the things that I've mentioned was that one of the reasons why I started this channel is for me to constantly learn how to be in front of a camera, constantly deliver a link, get comfortable in front of the camera, and that is how you can actually become better.
Definitely.
So if you can start a YouTube channel, if you can just really guys exhaust your talents, if it means you're going to have to,
I love that.
Yes, you need to go and ask someone, can I MC your event, just for you to get the confidence, do that. You will really become better at what you do. So
exhaust your talents. What can we just love it.
So friend, now we're in the industry, right? So people tend to believe that if you are on national TV, you're doing exceptionally well, with 500,000 Instagram photos, you've made it, right? But so many of us are working behind the scenes. So we in the industry, we're working with maintaining a good profile and a positive character of yourself, because as you know, what happens is that if there's something badly said about you, no one wants to work with you. So then how do you make sure that you maintain that?
You know what, I think it also depends on the type of brand that you are. People are going to say, oh,
you're not a brand, no one knows you. But really guys, with maintaining a positive profile, it is so important, because you can't be going around building bridges, no way.
Burning bridges. But I mean, again, it's about, if people know you for controversy and they want to work with you because people are always talking about you for the bad things,
then you will get a job on Moja TV. I'm just kidding, guys. But you know what I mean. Yeah.
But again, your social media profiles and your online presence, it's like your public CV. Like for me, that's how I view it. So if you know potential brands, potential clients are obviously looking at you. So if you want to make a good impression, of course you want to put out your best work. Of course you want to present yourself in a light that makes you want to work with them. And I think in the age of social media, what some people tend to do is they put on a fake life. But there's a difference. You can't be presenting something that you're not online and then after hours, because eventually someone will pick it up that this is not really authentically you, or whatever the case is.
True. You can see it from both sides, friend. Just think about it. If you want to be a luxury brand, then you can fake it, because fake it till you make it. Then you can most definitely do so. However, if your audience find out that you're not actually living this life, then your character can be questioned. Definitely. So it goes both ways. So really decide what is it that you want, and just like have good people in your team, in your corner, that can really hide your secret, because they can't be going back and saying like, oh, he's living in a shack. Because I do know with what you portray in social media, brands will be attracted to you, and then you can become a great thing and actually live the life that you aspire to live. Because as much as you're living through social media, there's also a way of manifesting if you think about it.
Look at that.
Yeah, you can also think about it that way. But going back to the influential space, it's one of the things that I want to tackle. With someone who's actually making money from social media. Ka-ching. So friend, like you've mentioned, like building a positive profile in the industry, but also on social media, which is your online profile, because when people want to work with you, they go there and they're like, actually, I don't want to work with her because of what she has posted. How do you ensure that your profile speaks to the partnerships that you want to work with?
I think there's a very thin line as well between that and authenticity. Because in like, just building on to the previous question, in the hopes of working with luxury brands or whatever, don't put on a life that's not authentically you.
Yes.
Because now you're selling something completely different.
Sure.
So it's like, for me, I think it's a very tricky space, because like you're saying, it's part manifestation and part lying.
True. Yes, true.
So that's why I'm saying it's a very thin line between the two. But for me personally, I really believe in building credibility in who I am, and really telling a story that is authentic to me. So in all of my posts, I don't think there are any lies. So the only thing that I do, obviously I want to present it in the most appealing way possible, and that's through nice good quality pictures, nice outfits, nice makeup, nice little things like that. Just make it look nice. Like,
make it look nice.
I love nice looking things.
Deliver work that is presentable, and quality work. Work is another thing. No, so that's true, friend. So now you're in this space, right? You're working and you're making the money, and your brand is speaking for itself, right? With consistency, how do you maintain that? Because that's another thing that's a problem, because they keep on saying that if you're going to be doing prank videos, you can't be making one, then where's the next one? You need to be consistent with it. And sometimes our guys, do you know how exhausting it is to even get up and just like post something? Like, our personalities, you don't want to bring yourself to the table every single day. You need a break. But then how do you keep with being consistent?
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm terrible. I'm the last person to ask about consistency, in all honesty.
But friend, you don't post on your timeline a lot. However, you do post on your stories.
Definitely, because again, my feed and my timeline, that requires a bit more thought. So I don't just post there. No, in my stories, maybe I can easily put something there. But when it comes to my feed, I really think a lot about, because I'm like, okay, what does this say about me? Does this fit in with the potential brands, that type of thing? So like you're saying, to keep the engagement going, definitely posting on my stories, but not so much on my timeline. That definitely needs a bit more thought.
Okay, there's so many negative ideas and perceptions about influencers is that that's a conversation for another day, but we need to check it. With that being said, people tend to think that influencers, they are just people with a smartphone creating content to make an extra buck. Whereas we can see people are actually working hard with these concepts, with these ideas that they post on social media. What do you personally think about these ideas? Because they always say, even with celebrities, whenever they're interviewed, they're like, oh, you're a TV presenter, you're actress, you're an influencer. And then they're like, oh no, I'm not an influencer. They make it seem like a bad thing, like it's also not a talent to actually know how to capture things. Because photography also needs to be, it's a entire thought process. So you need to be creative with these things. So what's your take on that?
Love it, because I shy away from the whole influencer title.
Yeah.
Personally, because I think you need to be at a certain level and at a certain stage in your life to influence people's actions and thinking and buying habits. So yes, celebrities are definitely influential, but not all of them are influencers. Because for me, really, if you're not in prompting some sort of action from your audience, you're not necessarily an influencer, but you can be a content creator.
You can be a content creator, true.
Because there you really, like for me, I love the idea of creating content. I love the idea of taking nice pictures of, that type of thing. That's definitely creating content. So content creator, love it. I love that title. Influencer, I think, is really for a select few people that really influence buying habits or whatever.
True.
And I think when it comes to celebrities, for them, they may be
I feel like they don't want to be grouped in the same category as content creators, because they want to be celebrated differently.
Exactly, because now people think just about anyone can be an influencer, so they obviously want to stand out and say, no, but I have a radio show, I have a television gig, or I'm an actress, I'm not just an influencer. But influencing is definitely an extension of what they do, and I don't think
it is, because like they also have these partnerships with a lot of brands, and if you were to go back to an influencer, it's the same thing. However, guys, there's also another debate that was going on the other day. Someone said, as much as you are coming to me and being negative about my job as an influencer, you can have a great deal with a big brand and then you sell 80 t-shirts, whereas I can sell 80 t-shirts. So then what are you saying? So can we just have respect for the next person's occupation?
Definitely. And again, this whole follower thingy doesn't necessarily translate to
sales.
I mean, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on to my YouTube channel. I hope this was an informative conversation, because I'm going to feature a lot more on my channel, because it's a Barbie doll for me, baby girls. Please enter the chat. Most definitely, I hope this was an informative conversation, and then you guys just please make sure you share my video, guys, because this needs to make the rounds, because that's how my channel is gonna grow. Once again, thank you so much. I can't wait to feature you again and again and again, and tackle a lot more topics, because we have a lot to talk about. From me, Rasmus-Gold, the original Barbie doll, and the one and only
Sannie Nkosi.
from us, bye bye for now.